Okay guys, this is about a 2017 Indian Chieftain, and we are putting on this right here. It is called a Viking trunk. I did mount it to the original bracket for mounting hardware for the quick release Indian base, trunk base. It is the one, as you can see, with the little nubs on it that mount to the hard shell original Indian trunk. And you can see how this looks. I think it looks nice. So I'm going to do a real quick video on how I did this. Stay tuned. Okay guys, Dave here, RNRV Chronicles. Coming to you today, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a find, I guess I could say, that I found for my Indian Chieftain, 2017 Indian Chieftain. Ever since we traded in our Harley Davidson Ultra Limited and picked up this bike, of course we had a trunk on the Limited. And we've really been missing it, but I cannot justify $3,200 for a trunk from India. Just can't. So I started looking for alternatives. What I did do is I did go ahead and purchase the bracket, the base, trunk base from Indian. Now, this is the one that will go with a regular fiberglass trunk from the Indian. Maybe someday down the road, if I find a used one that's much cheaper, then I already have the base for it. What I do like about this here particular base, and I will show you later, is that these little nubs right here. Now this whole bracket can come off if you wanted to. If you want to use this for a different type of a trunk base, you can. I did look up Thunder Manufacturing. They are out of Phoenix, Arizona, and they made an awesome base, a really nice one. I probably would have purchased that, but for some reason they're either out of business, or I'm hearing stories that maybe they're retooling. Anyways, regardless of what's going on, you can't get anything from them because they're basically closed right now. So I just went ahead and purchased this one. The other reason why I purchased this, other than that maybe someday I may upgrade, is this one right here does come along with the handlebar, or the armrest. I can attach the armrest to this if I want to. But anyways, I just want to show you real quick on what I did in order to hook this thing up with this here particular trunk that I purchased, which is the Viking leather wrapped trunk. Now I'm going to show you a little trick that I'm going to do to this here, to take one of the conchos and put it over top of the Indian emblem over top of this. So it's going to have the Indian on it. So it is leather wrapped. It's a decent quality. Now what I want to do is just give you some really quick measurements. They do have measurements on the website, but I want to give you some here. Okay, the top of, at the pretty much the widest point of the trunk, and that's towards the back, it's right around 19 3/4 inches. So it's 19 3/4 inches in the back, and up front here where it kind of narrows a little bit, it goes down to about 17.5 inches. Depth, total depth, is roughly 17 inches, about 17 1/4 inches actually. Okay. The depth on the inside is about 7 1/4 inches. That's within the top shell. The extra part that you can see here now, it does have a slope on it, as you can see. It slopes downward, so it's higher in the back, but it's still 7 1/4, about 7 1/4. And then you have a little bit of a depth here, which is roughly around 4.5 inches in your depth. So, you know, add that in. So your inside captivity, roughly 7 4, so it's about, you know, 11 1/4 inches, something like that. Okay. So it is made out of fiberglass. It is a fiberglass. I'm not sure what the top piece wrap is, but it is fiberglass. Then you do have a covering, a lining on the inside. It is lined all the way on the inside with leather. Don't know if you can see that. Let me grab this camera here over here so y'all can see this. So it is lined with leather. I did drill the holes. The upper part there is just like a plastic shell, plastic lining, but it is fiberglass. Don't. This is just a covering. That's all it is. And then, of course, on the outside here, it is leather wrapped, and it does look nice. Sorry about the crude videoing here. I'm just holding a tripod in my hand with a GoPro on it, and I'm hitting all kinds of stuff, so I apologize. Just wanted you to see the shell real quick. It does have, like I said, Viking bags, little emblem on it. I'm going to show you how you can take that off and put on a Indian. What I did is I just went to Lowe's. I did pick up some screws, lock washers in here, and some washers, larger washers. The washers, I think, were 2 inch, 1.5 inches. Now, Viking do send you bolts and hardware for mounting. I just found it easier for me to go this route. It's very secure, and I'll show you here after I mount it on how tight and secure this thing really is once it's hooked up. Okay, you do have your backrest. I had my wife sitting on it, and she said it felt pretty decent, pretty comfortable. She said it does push her up a little bit, so I might look into picking up a different kind of a backrest for it. It can be removed. It's not like glued on there or anything. There's just 6 bolts back here, and you know, I can put on a different type of backrest if I want to. So I may look into doing that. I'm not sure. This thing on the website was $325. There's another thing I want you guys to know and see here, is that this is actually kind of shaped almost identical to the Indian trunk. It's a heck of a lot lighter, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper. The brown leather wrapped Indian trunk is $1,800 from Indian. This was $325. $350 with shipping. Okay, I ain't gonna say any more about that. So, let's just go ahead and I'll show you how I mounted this up here on the bracket. Okay, now I will tell you this. I did use some 200-mile-an-hour tape, okay, duct tape, and tape this thing down onto the bracket to make sure that I got it perfectly level and even everywhere before I marked from underneath, going up through the bolt holes where you have the on the bottom of the bracket, and then I scored it and then I pulled it apart and then drilled the holes, pre-drilled all my holes. I did start smaller, and then I worked my way up to about almost 1.5 times the size of the bolt that I have. So I have a little bit of room to move for adjustment. Okay, you can drill straight through the leather, obviously. The good thing is that when you screw this down and you bolt it down tight with the washers in the bottom of the rack, the mounting rack, it squeezes the leather tight and it makes it watertight. So there you go. Let's just go ahead and line the bolts up here. And I'm not going to show you guys all of this, just to show you how I got kind of started here a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Back to it. And yes, I did already have this together, and I'm just taking it. I took it back apart for the video. Okay, now before I put our Titan nose down tight, I'm going to start the bolts here on the front, and let me just show you guys real quick what I mean here. On the Indian bracket, you have these little like bars that are coming out from your wrap around your back brace, okay? This trunk fits on here almost perfectly with that. Let me just show you. You can see there's a little, and it fits flush up against the back of the trunk, securing it even better. So what I did, I got some Allen bolts, and I'm just going to put them right inside there. Out the inside a little bit. So it comes up along. You're going to have these bolts right here. They're going to be exposed. I might paint those and even get another piece of black leather and glue it down over top of those. But if you do that, then you can't get the trunk off the bracket. So unless you pull it back up. I don't know. I'll try to figure something out. Maybe I can get some Velcro in between here with the leather on the other side with the other pieces of Velcro and Velcro it down. So I don't know. I'll figure something out. Okay? But it does have a little bit of a dip here. So if you need, they're down low below this. So if you need to, you can get another piece of carpet and just put it right inside here and line that and cover those up. Which I may do that also. So anyway, so just letting you know. There you go. Now let me show you on how, by the way, guys, this thing is lockable. Okay? In fact, the only way you can open it is with your key. Turn it sideways, and then that's what allows you to open the trunk. It is locked. And it's not a shabby lock. I mean, it's not the greatest. It's not shabby. There you go. And just to show you, I mean, this thing is on here, man. I mean, it is on here. Nice and tight. And I'll show you on the bike then once I get it on the bike. keys. And as you can see, you got 2 trunks, or room for 2 helmets inside. Now, these are half helmets. These are the Indian half helmet. One lays flat, the other one is a little bit on an angle right here. Okay, and you have room for a little bit of other things in there if you want. There's a lot of room for the height, so that's no issue at all. That again. So that's no problem. All I had to do was pull out the screw right here that held the medallion on for the Victory, and just screwed in this one. Got this one off of my seat. And I might pick up 2 more of these little emblems and put them on the sides right here.